I was teaching English online, and I reached this plateau where I couldn't see myself, I guess, advancing anymore. I was just in a routine. And then I heard from a friend that she started working with this company, and she told me just the basic things. And I thought it would be challenging for me. I thought it would be something that would push me to do more. And I just tried and applied. And I started with remote support, and I actually hit every position in remote support. I didn't
Mhm.
skip anything, and it was very, very fun. But I was happy that I was pushed always like towards other positions, because to be honest, I would stay on the first one because I loved it so much, just communicating with interpreters all the time, working events. But then I guess in training, I managed to do that as well in the past year, at least since I've been just assigned as a trainer.
From my very early ages, it was the whole idea was from my beloved father.
Hmm.
He was, interested to see me as interpreter. So he was trying to convince me when I was still, in the very primary school stages, but I
Hmm.
was not really convinced. But by time I found that I'm so much interested into languages in
Hmm.
general,
Hmm.
and particularly in Arabic and English, which is, my
Okay.
AM. So by time after I finished my secondary school, I found that there is a sort of study
Hmm.
specialized in simultaneous interpretation. And because I'm so much into language in general,
Hmm.
I, wanted to check and see how that maybe my father has got an idea, a
Hmm.
good valid point. So I started to see how would that match my own potentials and capabilities. And I was really astonished to find the fact that by studying the language, general language and linguistics in the
Hmm.
very first maybe 2 or 3 years, it was really exciting to have this kind of, multicultural understanding. And
Hmm.
then we started to get into the major, which was translation and simultaneous interpretation. So I found that it was just like, echoing my own, or like exploring my
Hmm.
capabilities that I haven't discovered before. So
Hmm.
just after graduation, I started to work on trying to do whatever it takes to maintain my speaking skills
Hmm.
and the written translation skills. And I started to have a sort of a dream that I want to become a conference interpreter in one day. So I started to work on this. It took me, I think, maybe just a couple years. And
Hmm.
then I've started to get into the interpretation scope and industry
Hmm.
step by step. So yeah, it has become a passion.
As a trainer in the past year, especially because you know that we were there on the market, but we weren't as large as we are today. I think a lot of interpreters coming to us and not knowing what it is, how it works, it was
Mhm.
just very rewarding to see how people are scared or they don't have trust in remote interpretation and just working from home. And when they see how the system works, when they see they can hear their partner, that it's actually very comfortable, that it's safe, that you have someone still with you, even though they're not in the same room, but they are with you. I think that was the most exciting part of the job.
No, actually, I
Hmm.
have just studied inside my country. It was just
Hmm.
normal governmental studies.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
my whole studies were just inside Egypt. I've
Okay.
only managed I've only managed to go abroad. I think for maybe just once. I was
Okay.
on a mission for USA,
Hmm.
for interpreting mission. I mean, yeah.
Hmm.
So my whole study were just inside Egypt. But
Uh-huh.
since I graduated, I was working with the multinational companies. I was
Hmm.
one of the senior advisors in Vodafone. If you know Vodafone, it's
Hmm.
one of the network providers. It was Vodafone UK account. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I just was working with multinational companies, and
Hmm.
that's it.
I definitely agree that it will make a difference. And we are really trying our best in Interprefy to advise the clients to just bring the importance of sound quality, I guess, first and foremost. Why is it
Mm,
important for every meeting, why is it important for interpreters, why is it important for themselves. So I think the trainings that we conduct, we also try to just have a lot of the practical reasons to show them like what type of sound would be okay. And most of the trainings are group trainings as well for
Yeah.
clients. And
Mm-hmm.
actually in those trainings, it's very good for them to see someone connects without a headset, someone connects from a
Yeah.
tablet. Those are great examples why they shouldn't do it. So I think it's
Yeah.
also valuable, just like for interpreters, where we create the
Exactly.
safe environment and you
Mm.
can try everything, press every button, make any mistake you want. And then
Mm-hmm.
for the event, what's best for you, what's best for interpreters, what's best for your colleagues. Well, they're very picky. So you first have to have certain experience in remote support. We had to be seniors at the time. And there was a great trainer, Kubra, worked with us. She's still with the company in a different position, and she trained me. And I took the test a few times. She was very
Mm.
strict because we really needed to be, on the right way. We needed to be sure what you can say, how you can explain things. So it was definitely not easy becoming a trainer. We really
Mm-hmm.
did have to go through a training, but also after that, we were given a lot of freedom. So if you feel that something can be changed, that you can do it better, we were always given freedom to test things and implement it with the whole team. So even from the start, when there was no training department but just trainers as individuals, we were given a lot of freedom, and now it's just more structured. And in general, there is a training, so don't think that it's easy to become a trainer. It's a hard work,
Yep.
and they're very careful who gets to actually show you the platform. If you're not approved on the training for a technical reason, I remember your case. It was you had a good
Yeah.
headset, but it wasn't
Yeah.
working for some reason. Um,
Exactly.
what the client did, they signed a liability disclaimer, and you got to work on the event because you got a different headset. And as trainers, this is maybe also useful to know. We check on your progress. So if you work on events, we are notified. And I checked and I saw that you had a different headset, that the sound was great. So we actually approved
Mm-hmm.
you. You don't really have to get trained again in the next 6 months. But of course,
Ah.
if you wish, you can always contact. There is a link on the website. You can always check, and you can always contact the trainer if you need any information or your just focal point from the last training. We are very
Mm-hmm.
flexible in that.
Well, actually, the training process is really amazing. But there was
Mhm,
maybe one of the things that was kind of
mhm,
like a mysterious question to lots of interpreters. Why does Interprefy charge interpreters to take the training?
I see.
Comparing to other
Mhm,
platforms. So
mhm,
this was actually one of the things that lots of
mhm,
interpreters, also my colleagues, were asking. I couldn't give an answer. So maybe this is one of the things.
mhm,
One thing for the platform or for the
mhm,
interface, which I believe or I noticed that maybe you're trying to do it for the time being, which is
mhm,
the video featuring. So for me to see
mhm.
my booth mate while interpreting,
Exactly. Mhm.
this is the only thing that I think that you miss in the interface. And if it's there,
Uh-huh.
it's just gonna be really
Mhm.
amazing. So other than that, everything is just super.
Exactly. Well, we really try to implement the video soon for the partners, and it's going to be like you're in booth this time around. And
Yeah,
you maybe
perfect.
won't even have to worry about handovers regarding the, I guess,
Super.
charging the trainings. Why in general, what I can assume is because there is a lot of like personal touch. In the past, it was one-on-one, so you get the trainer for 2 hours. They set up
Mm,
your computer all together. Even now, we guide you to set it up. And I don't know if we did it on your training, but if there is a problem, we can still connect through TeamViewer at your request. So we just
mhm.
try to personalize the training and the experience, and we really try to minimize possible mistakes after. So
Yeah,
we put a lot more effort. I'm saying put a lot more effort. I'm not saying other platforms, other systems are not trying as hard as we are, but we really give it
yeah,
110% for each training, whether it's
yeah.
client, whether it's interpreter, group, or
Sure.
individual.
And actually, let me say that I like this part in Interprefy, which is
Mhm,
that we have to pay because if if you just like do the other, the other workaround, you will
mhm.
have dozens of interpreters knocking your doors and
Yeah.
getting the training, which is kind of mess. But actually, what Interprefy does, which is
Mm.
the very important thing that I love with you guys, that you're super professional. You do the thing for providing professional service on all levels. So
Mhm.
believe it or not, I love this part that we have to pay for the
Oh,
training. So
glad to hear it's worth it.
yeah,
We really are. That's something we always tell in training as well. So you have us for those 2 hours or 5 hours or whichever type of training you have, but then in the event you again have the support, and they're really amazing. They're responsive. They're, just like
yeah,
an extension of
extremely.
us. Exactly. And
Yeah,
you just don't see them that time around, but they can reach out anyway to you. They will find you. They will help you. That's what's good.
perfect.
If you want to be part of Interprev, it's quite easy. You just book a training. What's something that we need to explain every time is that even when you're trained with Interprefy, we don't really act as LSP, as a language service
Yeah.
provider, where
Hmm.
there is a company that trains you and gives you kind of an approval where you can work with us in the next 6 months. But if you really want to work with Interprefy, you do it through the language service providers. And we have
Hmm.
a strategic partner, the Interprenet, and you
Yeah.
can reach out to them. You become basically a part of the family. But if you want to work in Interprefy otherwise, I think we have a lot of career openings all the time. We're expanding, so,
Yeah.
and we're also changing a lot of things, so I think there will be a lot of opportunities. You just need to stay tuned.
The only thing that maybe Jesse can provide is that to have sort of like video tutorials to
Mhm.
send the tutorials for clients or interpreters,
I see.
just to give them like, sort of like briefing them on how
Mhm.
things go. But other than that, no, it's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, Dina. I think you will be pleasantly surprised in the future with this.
I'm
We
waiting for
have
this.
something in store.
Perfect.
But thank you so much. It's been very,
My
very
pleasure.
pleasant talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Really, it
Thank
was
you.
really exciting. Thanks to Dora. Dora, you
Mhm.
know how much, I love you. You're my girl.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
Yeah.
you,
you so
Dora.
much. I'm gonna break the silence here, and it's been
Yeah.
so cool to listen
Uh-huh.
to you.